Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will explain the simple and conversational style poem Please Listen. This poem is written in free verse. That means this poem does not have any rhyme scheme. So let's begin. When I ask you to listen to me and you start giving me advice, you have not done what I asked. The poet says that when he asks someone to listen to him and they start giving him advice, they have not done what he has asked. एक टीनेजर को मन में रखकर यह पोयम लिखी गई है। ये टीनेजर अपनी उम्र से बड़े इंसान से कहता है कि जब मैं आपसे कहता हूं आप मेरी बात सुनो और आप मुझे एडवाइस देने लगते हो तो आपने मेरी बात नहीं सुनी। When I ask you to listen to me and you begin to tell me why I shouldn't feel that way, you are trampling on my feelings. Trampling means crushing. When the teenager asks someone to listen to him and they tell him why he shouldn't feel that way, they are crushing on his feelings. टीनेजर कहता है, जब मैं आपसे कहता हूं कि आप मेरी बात सुनिए, मेरी बात सुनने के बजाय आप मुझे कहते हैं कि मुझे ऐसा फील नहीं करना चाहिए जैसे फील कर रहा हूं, तो ऐसा बताकर आप मेरे फीलिंग्स को क्रश कर रहे हैं। When I ask you to listen to me and you feel you have to do something to solve my problem, you have failed me, strange as that may seem. When the teenager asks someone to listen to him and the listeners feel that they have to do something to solve his problem, they have failed him, even though this may appear strange. जब मैं आपसे कहता हूं कि आप मेरी बात सुनिए, आपको लगता है कि आपको मेरे लिए कुछ करना चाहिए, मेरी प्रॉब्लम्स सॉल्व करने के लिए, तब आप फेल हो गए हो। ये बात आपको अजीब लगती होगी, लेकिन ये सच है। Listen. All I ask is that you listen. Don't talk or do. Just hear me. The teenager says that all he asks is that the person should listen, not talk or do, just listen. मैं सिर्फ इतना ही चाहता हूं कि तुम मेरी बात सुनो, कुछ ना कहो, कुछ ना करो, सिर्फ मेरी बात सुनो। Advice is cheap. 20 cents will get you both Dear Abby and Billy Graham in the same newspaper. He says that advice is cheap because everyone is willing to give advice. Friends, very often you must have read people sharing their problems and seeking advice. The poet mentions two such columns from the newspaper. First column is Dear Abby and the second column is Billy Graham. He says that by paying 20 cents, he can get advice from these two newspaper columns. सलाह सस्ती है और कोई भी सलाह दे सकता है। अगर आपकी कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो आप लिखकर न्यूज़पेपर को भेजिए। न्यूज़पेपर के कॉलमनिस्ट जैसे डियर एबी एंड बिली ग्राहम आपके प्रॉब्लम को सुनकर अपने ओपिनियंस एंड सजेशंस देंगे। And I can do for myself. I am not helpless, maybe discouraged and faltering, but not helpless. Faltering, stumbling. The teenager can look after himself. He is not helpless. He may be discouraged or he may be uncertain, but he is definitely not helpless. आप मेरे लिए कुछ मत करो, मैं अपने लिए खुद कर सकता हूं। मैं लाचार नहीं हूं। शायद अब मैं लो फील कर रहा हूं, डिस्करेज्ड हूं, लेकिन लाचार बिल्कुल नहीं हूं। When you do something for me that I can and need to do for myself, you contribute to my fear and inadequacy. Inadequacy means unsatisfactory. When someone does something for him which he can do by himself, then that person who helps is adding to the teenager's fear, the poet's fear, and making the teenager, that is the poet, feel inferior. टीनेजर यानी पोएट कहता है, जब आप मेरे लिए वो काम करते हो जो मैं खुद कर सकता हूं और जो मुझे करना चाहिए, तब आप मेरे डर को बढ़ावा देते हो, मुझे एहसास दिलाते हो कि मुझ में कुछ कमी है. But when you accept as a simple fact that I feel what I feel, no matter how irrational, then I can stop trying to convince you and get about this business of understanding what's behind this irrational feeling. Irrational means senseless. But if someone accepts as a simple fact that the teenager, that is the poet, feels what he feels, however senseless, only then the poet can stop trying to convince that person and then start finding out why he is feeling so. जब आप मेरी फीलिंग्स, मेरी सोच को एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हो, चाहे मैं कितना भी इरेशनल या इलॉजिकल फील कर रहा हूं, तो मैं आपको कन्विंस करना स्टॉप कर दूंगा कि मेरी बात सुनो, और साथ ही साथ मैं इस काम में भी लग जाऊंगा कि मैं क्यों ऐसा इरेशनल फील कर रहा हूं या सोच रहा हूं. And when that's clear, the answers are obvious, and I don't need advice. Obvious, natural. When it becomes clear to the poet why he is having senseless feelings, the answers to the questions become obvious, natural, and then he does not need any advice. और जब ये बात क्लियर हो जाएगी कि मैं ऐसा क्यों फील कर रहा हूं, तो मुझे मेरे सवालों के जवाब मिल जाएंगे. तब मुझे किसी एडवाइस की जरूरत नहीं होगी. Irrational feelings make sense when we understand what's behind them. Irrational feelings make sense only when one understands the reason behind them. मेरी फीलिंग्स भले ही आपको इलॉजिकल लगे, लेकिन जब हमें पता चलता है कि वो फीलिंग्स क्या हैं, क्यों हैं, तब वो इरेशनल फीलिंग्स भी सेंसिबल लगते हैं. Perhaps that's why prayer works. Sometimes for some people, because God is mute and He doesn't give advice or try to fix things. God just listens and lets you work it out for yourself. Mute means cannot speak. The poet guesses that that is perhaps why prayer works sometimes for some people. God is silent. God does not speak. God doesn't give advice or provide solutions to problems. He only listens silently and lets the person find his own answers. शायद इसीलिए कहते हैं कि प्रार्थना काम कर जाती है कुछ लोगों के लिए, क्योंकि ईश्वर बोल नहीं सकते. जब हम हमारी प्रॉब्लम्स उनसे कहते हैं, यानी ईश्वर से कहते हैं, तो ईश्वर सिर्फ सुन लेते हैं. वो ना हमें एडवाइस देंगे, ना हमारे लिए कोई काम करेंगे, लेकिन वो हमें केपेबल बनाएंगे ताकि हम हमारे प्रॉब्लम्स खुद सॉल्व करें. इसीलिए कहते हैं कि प्रेयर्स वर्क. सो प्लीज लिसन एंड जस्ट हियर मी, एंड इफ यू वांट टू टॉक, वेट अ मिनट फॉर योर टर्न एंड आई विल लिसन टू यू. The poet finally requests people again to just listen to him. He further says that if the listener wants to talk, he should wait a minute for his turn and then the poet will listen to him. इसीलिए पोएट कहते हैं कि प्लीज मेरी बात सुनो, और अगर आपको बात करनी है तो रुको, पहले मेरी बात सुनो, फिर जब आपकी बारी आएगी तब आप बोलना, और मैं आपकी बात ध्यान से सुनूंगा. Friends, the poet's name is not given, and that is the reason it is written author unknown. In other words, it is written by anonymous. That is, the name of the poet is not known. So, friends, this was the explanation of the poem please listen. I hope you have learned something from this video. Thank you for watching this video. Bye. Bye.